Welcome back to Headaches and Euphoria. Today we're continuing the tale of Nickolas' birth. A tale of the pain, tears, anxiety, and confusion that must be had in order to grow a family and to grow the love that binds that family together. So my wife Michelle is here with me again to help continue the tale of Nickolas' birth. At the end of our last video, Mish and I had just entered the maternity ward to meet the blank faces of the nurses stationed there because we had not checked into the emergency room or the front desk to let them know we were coming. That got all cleared up once we mentioned that we were the patients of Dr. Gerhardt, and they scurried us into the delivery room. The short period between 7 o'clock and 7:45 was filled with confusion and pain. Can you tell us what went on during those moments?
I am in excruciating pain. I am screaming and yelling for an epidural, and the nurses are taking an extremely long time to put the IV in my arm. One nurse tries, she says she can't get it in, then the other nurse tries, and she can't get it in, and meanwhile, I'm trying, there's no way for me to sit still for her to do this, because the contractions haven't stopped since I arrived. So I'm screaming, and they keep telling me that the epidural is coming, sweetheart. It's coming. The doctor is coming. Don't worry. No, he was not coming fast enough. So they kept saying, we have to fill you with fluids. We have to fill you with fluids. He's coming. Oh, God.
All the while, her pain is getting worse. There's no relief in sight. And it's totally not how we expected it to go.
No, an epidural was part of my birth plan.
When Jacob was born, you had an epidural?
Yes.
And you expected an epidural this time around as well with Nickolas.
I didn't expect it, I demanded. So, as it turns out, that the epidural doctor was never going to come. Once they got the IV in me and the fluid started, they checked to see how far dilated I was, and I was 7 centimeters. So I told Jamie that you have to call my mom and tell her to come because this is happening really fast. So that 30-second phone call, I was already 9 centimeters dilated and I could feel Nickolas starting to come out. So I'm saying to Jamie that I don't want to do this anymore.
The whole stress of the situation caused her to go into a bit of a madness. And her words just became all confused and weird, saying things like, I want to go home. My mom is not here. I want to go home.
And what I remember coming out of my mouth was curse words and screaming at Jamie that it's all his fault.
It's always my fault. What can I say? Now, things are progressing a lot faster than we had anticipated at this point. Nurses are coming in and out of the room, checking vital signs and machines and doing all kinds of medical stuff that I don't really understand. At one point, I hear one of the nurses comment that the baby's heartbeat is somewhat irregular. I don't remember the exact details of whether the heart was beating too fast or too slow. All I remember is that the air in the room suddenly became more urgent than it was before, as if things weren't crazy enough already. Nurses started flooding into the room and surround my wife, and I am left awkwardly trying to find where I'm supposed to be in this ensuing chaos. I don't know where I belong. Hi, I'm the husband.
What I do remember is a nurse sitting on the bed pushing on my belly, making the excruciating pain I was in worse. And I'm cursing at her to get off of me.
Well, I think she was actually helping you push, or maybe she was pushing for you. All I know is that what happened next was kaboom! Nickolas flew out like a cannonball. 10 pounds, 2 ounces. He beat this old man by an ounce. That is my strong Viking woman for you, yes. But do we get to experience the relief and joy that comes with our new baby boy? Hardly. Immediately after Nickolas is born, he is scooped up and placed on a table where he's hooked up to a contraption called a CPAP. He wasn't breathing. So now the nurses over here are surrounding my son, so I can't get to him. The nurses over here are surrounding my wife, so I can't get to her. And I'm left still bumbling about, confused and a little distraught, not because I don't know what's going on or what to do. All I have is my faith that the medical professionals in the room know what they're doing, and I let them do their job.
Nickolas wasn't breathing due to the fluid in his lungs. Normally, babies are slowly squeezed through the birth canal, allowing the fluid to come out of their lungs. But Nickolas was born so rapidly that wasn't able to happen. The nurses were suctioning out his lungs and put him on a CPAP machine in order to make him breathe for himself.
And it allowed Nickolas to finally cry for the first time. And capturing that precious moment was Mish's mom, who had just arrived at the perfect time. Now, she had been delayed because we gave her late notice, and, there's traffic on the way. And the fact that a police officer had pulled her over didn't help much. Luckily, after explaining herself, the officer not only let her go, but provided a police escort for her to rush through the traffic to the hospital without having to worry about any more delays. And we are so grateful that she arrived at the moment she did, with a camera in tow, to take the first snapshots of our newborn boy. So with that piece of drama over, it's time for me to abandon my wife.
Nickolas is carted away to go to the baby nursery, and Jay has to go with him to fill out the paperwork and to take his first footprint. And my mom leaves because my dad has arrived, and she has to tell him that Nikki is born and all of that stuff. So Jamie is gone, my mom is gone, the doctor, Gerhardt, she finishes up. Then the nurses finish up their paperwork, and they leave too. Now I'm alone, all by myself, in a hospital room. I had just given birth to a baby, which I have not held yet or seen. My husband is gone, my mom is gone, and I'm alone.
She was alone. She was all by herself. No one was looking.
It was very awkward. Kind of like right now.
I eventually returned to Mish after being away for about a half an hour. At this point, we are shown to the room that we'll be staying at for the next couple of days.
On the way to our room, I am finally able to see Nickolas. They take me to the nursery, and I am able to hold his hand. I was unable to hold him because he was still hooked up to the CPAP machine helping him breathe.
We became able to hold Nickolas for the first time 4 hours later, shortly after midnight, when they carted him into our room for an hour-long visit. Despite all we had been through in both getting to the hospital and in the delivery of Nickolas, all that drama quickly fell away as we held our newborn baby boy in our arms at long last. There is something about the birth of a child that rekindles the heart with hope, joy, renewal, and love. It brings the family closer together, strengthening the love that binds them, and makes that family stronger and more complete than it was before. Thank you for watching.